everybody. How y'all doing? Doing some ambient pads today. What's going on over on YouTube and Twitch? Hey Laurie, appreciate you hanging out with us. We doing ambient pads today. So what you're hearing is a combination of the MS-70CDR Plus and the Zoom B6, along with the OC5 and the Hog 2 pedals. So it takes a few pedals to get there. Now let's do this one. See if we get this to roll that way. And we got the B6 running in stereo. I would definitely advise you buying a Zoom B6 pedal for sure. A lot of that stereo imaging you're hearing is coming from the B6. I just actually run this. So I take one of these, and this is just a tip. In general, I take one of these adapters. Hopefully you guys can see that. See that over on Instagram and Facebook. I take one of these adapters and I plug them into headphones of different things if I need to. If I need a stereo image, I can get the stereo image out this way with a TRS cable. And it just allows it to go left and right. This one, the red is right, left, black is the right side. And instead of just running the XLR from the B6, I'm plugging into the headphone. It's not really the headphone jack. It's also the amp out, but it doubles as the headphone jack, and it has its own gain and everything. It has its own volume control right by it, and you just plug this in, and you run 2 channels to whatever you want, the house or to the system. In this case, I'm running to my Zoom L12 mixer, and then I have it panned really wide. So I have one side panned all the way. I have the left side panned all the way to the left, and the right side panned all the way to the right. I'll show you what I mean right now. And this is just important for the imaging of it. See, now it's just the left side. This is the right side. Put them together. And so a lot of this is coming from the Zoom MS-70CDR Plus. It's a blue pedal. To you guys over on Facebook and Instagram, if you want to catch the full view, you can head over to YouTube at the Bass Nagas on YouTube, and you'll be able to see the whole entire pedal board and everything going on there, as well as a little bit more tighter review. But that's streaming in HD as well. But let's get, most of it is the MS-70CDR Plus. Very sweet pedal for ambient stuff. Tons of delays and reverbs and modulations. So I'm doing most of it from there, and I'm using the B6 for the higher quality stuff. I'm also running through a JHS Color Box V2, which is one of my favorite preamp pedals. This really big white pedal, but it's amazing, into an Empress compressor. So that's in the signal chain now as well. So just so we clear, the whole signal chain right now is Boss OC5 running into a Electro-Harmonix Hog 2, right? So let's dial it back real quick. Just dial it back. So that's pretty much what that sounds like. Right? That's then running into the MS-70CDR Plus. MS-70CDR Plus. Yeah, that's it. That's the whole name. Okay. I don't know why I can't keep my Facebook up, but whatever. We ain't about to worry about it. Matter of fact, we're going to switch this. Give me 1 second, guys. But all that's from the 70CDR, which is bananas. That is a sweet pedal for $140. If you don't have the money for like an Eventide, H9, H90, I am not even going to the H90. Why? I don't even understand why that thing is why are they so expensive? I like the sound of them, but sheesh, does it need to be $900? You know, sheesh. Just trying to get some sounds here. They be trying to run your pockets, boy. Stick you up. But yeah, this pedal does a great job of getting you a lot of different, a lot of those, like, I would say boutique type reverb and delay sounds. So right now I have on the dual delay I have a filter delay, and that's really it. All I'm using right there on there. Using 2 delays on there. Then I'm also using and then that was running to the color box, and then into the Empress bass compressor. Both of those, which I had. Well, I got to do a review of the Empress. Did I do a review of it? Yeah, I did a review of the Empress. It's an amazing pedal. Make sure you check it out. But, and one of the color box. Check that out too. But running that into this bass stereo chorus on the Zoom B6. And this the cool thing about the B6 for real. While I'm getting this other stuff back up and running. This the really cool thing about the B6. I run my entire setup, all this stuff, into my B6 because I can route it different ways. Yeah, right. I show. Hey, if you want to buy me a H90, I will gladly take it. I'll review it. Matter of fact, I'll do a whole series on it. If all y'all get together, listen. If the whole fan base get together and give me $1, if everybody gave me $1, I could definitely, get an H90 and review it for y'all or H9, you know, even if a percentage of y'all, if y'all just, hey, everybody give $1 and we could do that. The problem with the H9 and the H90 is just the cost of it is just bananas, and you can only use one of the effects modules at a time. But even though some of the effects modules are like kind of like multi-effects units within themselves, but you can also, if you do want those eventide sounds, just a little quick note, you can grab, they got the plugins right now on sale. I think they were on sale, but they were like 60% off. They were real cheap for all the sounds that you would get in the H9 or the H90, you know. So, and if you running a DAW like or something like main stage performing, you can easily run both multiple H9 sounds at once, which you can't really do on an H9. So, effects modules. But all right, cool. So, yeah, we got this bass stereo chorus on the B6. That's giving us that nice stereo image, and that's running to another dual delay into a HD hall. But the B6, yeah, the routing of the B6 is what I was meaning to say as well. I think I sidetracked a little bit. The routing of the B6 is crazy, you know. It's not crazy. Like, I know some of the other more expensive units have a lot more routing options, you know, but for a mono setup and an effect, you know, it's got an effects loop and all that stuff, and then you can place the effects loop different places within the effects chain as well, which is an amazing feature. But I love this HD verb on here. And look at that. All that for about the price of a H90. Let's just be honest. Even if you got an OC5, you got a Hog 2. The Hog 2 is about 5 something, right? If you got a Hog 2, because you don't really need the OC5 for this type of stuff, I would go with a Hog 2. So if you got a Hog 2 and you got a Zoom MS-70CDR, you still would be it still will cost you less than an H90 or H9. So, you know, or if you got a Zoom B6 and a H9 and a Hog 2, it actually would cost about a little bit more, like maybe like $100 more, but you will at least have a multi-effects unit with IRs and all this other stuff on it. Plus, you'd have one of the best octavers ever. Even with the POG 3 coming out, POG 3 is crazy though. I like that. So there's different ways of getting into. Let me just get this other live back up and running. People, 1 second. Let's see. So even with other, let's see where to start with this. All right. A Hog 2, right? Hog 2 is a pretty expensive octave. So you could take something, I don't know, I'll just use the ones on the Zoom MS-60B Plus real quick, the octavers. Awesome. Glad it sounded good. Been taking. If I can keep my other streams up like these ones, I'll be all right. But yeah, so I'm gonna take the octavers on one of the octavers on the MS-60B Plus. Something this about $140. 100, you know, both of these about 140. So that's about $280, and you can get a whole ambient setup with that. You know, you still would be under what you would spend for just the B6. Now, that's also an option too, guys. You know, I'm all about the options. You don't have to break the bank to sound good. Like these, nobody's going to complain about these. These sound amazing. I actually change my strings probably about once a week, but I clean them every day with I just take a little bit of this and see, yeah, bam, Dunlop 65 string cleaner conditioner. I put that on as soon as I put my strings on. I put that on. I also use Diodario Pro Stills. That's another part of it. But yeah, so that with the string cleaner and use that once a day. That also conditions your calluses. So it's a reason why I can play like really fast like that, and it doesn't bother my fingers. And I can play for hours, hours. Do it all the time. I do it every day, literally. And it's because I have less resistance on my hands, as well as my calluses are being conditioned by the string lubricant to not be so brittle. But yeah, that's a little tip. All right, y'all always get me with the questions. All right, where we start? Okay, Poly Octaver on the MS-70CDR. I mean MS-60B plus. And this is just any old octaver will do. That has polyphonic mode, really. So as you can see, I'm just gonna throw that on. That works. Bring that wet back. Wet, change that. That's too much. Bring the wet. Drop that way back, and bring the dry wave forward, like way forward. Compared to that. Take something like that. Then you can take an auto swell. So you can do an auto swell several different ways. Like you could do it manually with your volume knob. Like that. And what that does is when it comes into the delays, it allows it not to have the rhythmic sense. You notice when I was doing the pads before, it wasn't rhythmic. It's more of a thing of it's just a pad, like a smoother pad. And the way that happens is you use an auto swell, meaning or you manually do it, or you can use it with a volume pedal as well, which I'll demonstrate in a second. But so let's get this roll. Auto swell. Where is it? All right, it's probably under here. No. Where's this thing? You know where it probably is? Yep, there it is. Launcher. See, now they do it automatically. Right? Doesn't sound like much, but it gives it more of that violin. And I actually, more of that violin texture, but I actually like to change the curve a bit. You can change the curve and the timing of it so it doesn't. Yeah, there we go. See how nice and smooth that is? And all these patches are going to be available on, all my patches for the Zoom stuff are going to be available in my packs. The MS-60B plus, the MS-70CDR, all the Zoom B6 stuff. All this stuff is going to be available in presets, so you'll automatically have access to it if you have those products, as well as Tonex One and the Atlas and things like that. So got quite a few different packs coming out. right? So you just get that violin sound going, right? But then you come over, add you a nice delay. And for this, another key to ambient pads is stacking delays. So you're gonna need more. You can do it with one delay, like this. So yeah, you can do it with one. But what's the point of having all this extra stuff if you're not going to use it? You got to use it, you know what I'm saying? So take that. That was a dual delay running into the filter delay now. So technically, this is 3 different delays. The dual delay is 2 different delays at the same time. So this is 3 different delays. And so delay is just with this echo. Just think of it like an echo. Like if you were to yell into a cave, hello, 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 hello. Or pretty much the sound of whatever noise you're making bouncing back at you, you know, kind of type of thing. Now, I would recommend you put that into some type of room. You definitely want to put that in some type of room. And that's why I have the HD reverb on there. Now, tell me that the reverb ain't crazy. Tell me that John ain't crazy. Matter of fact, let's go back because the MS-70CDR has a plethora. Yeah, using my big words today. Of reverbs, which is amazing. Like, and the thing I love about when you go to the library on here, it allows you to check out effects without the entire effects loop on, so you just kind of get to hear just the effects. So that's another pretty cool option of these pedals. Let's see. You got just a regular room delay. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, and share. Make sure y'all hit that like button. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, you know. But make sure y'all hit that like button, and make sure you hit that Cash App or the super chat if y'all feel like this useful to you, if it's helping you out. We going somewhere. If you're on Facebook and you want to check out what's going on visually, see the pedal board and all that other stuff, you got to go over to YouTube at the Bass Negus, Negus. Appreciate you hanging out with me. If you're just going to hang out on Facebook, though, that's fine. So this is the room. I'm just going to flip through a few different ones. So just being straight up, if you want simplicity, you can literally just do all this with just an MS-70CDR, like the entire ambient pad situation, you know. But when you got other pedals, you tend to try them out, mix them together. But if you just had an MS-70CDR plus, you'd be perfectly fine doing any type of ambient pad. Plus, you got filters. We ain't even get into that yet. But still going through some of the reverbs on the MS-70CDR, just seeing what some options are. Also, these get a lot bigger if when it's when it's in stereo. It gets bananas in stereo. Do I have another cable line around? I don't at the moment. That I can get to. But I'll do another video with all these in stereo on the MS-70CDR plus. They're crazy. That's a reverb. This one's one of my absolute favorites. So now we're starting to get into the some of the more, more boutique, expensive model, from expensive boutique pedal type reverbs now, like the modulation and the particle reverb. What else we had? That's space hole reverb. It's a lo-fi one. And this is just with the reverbs, the different reverbs. This is crazy. We ain't even start adding in delays or nothing yet. Just bass and reverb right now. Like, these joints are crazy. I'm just grabbing my other streams, getting them back up and running. Some way, somehow. Get it done. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe, like, and share button. Appreciate y'all. You also got Cash App and Super Thanks, Super Chat. If you feeling froggy, might as well jump. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all, though, a lot. Just hanging out with me. Even if you're just hanging, I definitely appreciate it. Try this. That's crazy. Oh, You gotta add that with like the male 9. See, this how you start adding stuff. You know, you just kind of keep in mind other sounds that you working with. Tell me that don't sound good together. See if we can add some movement with some voices. Watch this bass stereo chords. Yeah, it just got real. Just got real. Well, that bloomed. Thanks for hanging with us. Appreciate you. You could film score like this all day, like these little ambient sounds. It's like, 'cause even when you got glitches, you know, when you got glitch. That's sickening. So what I'm using there is OC5 into Hog 2 into the MS-70CDR Plus. Now, actually using the reverse reverb to really help me get that vocal sound, and then I put the Mel 9 on top of that, and in the low choir, and put even more on top of that. Yes, I definitely saw that. Yeah, the Pog 3. We were talking about that a little bit earlier. Yeah, it's an amazing pedal. It's a little pricey, but who else ain't nobody else competing with them. So you're gonna pay what they gotta pay, you know what I'm saying? But I'd rather do that than with the Eventide H90, I'd rather do that. I think the Pog 3 would be a much better synth tool. You can grab some reverbs in the MS-70CDR Plus or something like that. You still come out cheaper than buying H90. So for sure. But the Pog 3 is going to be, if you want one, you better reserve one, because they're going to be sold out, even though they're so expensive. I guarantee they're going to be sold out. But I use the reverse reverb on there to really push that choir sound. This is just this is it by itself. See, it gives you that nice, almost cello, like spooky, weird movie ghost, like the little ghost, like a little ghost girl or something. Should be sound like that. The voice would kind of be like in that texture. But you run that into the Mel 9 and it gives it an actual vocal texture. And that's just those two effects. Now, let's see what it sounds like on the higher choir. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Like you can use both of them. Depending on what part. Or you can use it with string setting. Which one is this? The string setting. So, bam. But I prefer it on the low choir setting for that. And they give you that type of sound. See, add some C4 in there just to get experiment. Now you get into like a little Spider-Man movie scene, Dr. Octopus. Y'all get mad secrets today. If you ain't know, you get mad secrets today. You gotta understand, these are trade secrets right here. These ain't no ordinary secrets. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe, like, and share. This how you can film score an entire movie using bass sounds. And with the C4, because it's polyphonic, it's monophonic, you can literally make it glitch. Versus you can literally make it glitch versus if you don't have it on, you're going to get more of the pure chords. Whole different part of the movie. All you did was take one effect off. And it's just about your creativity with it, you know? And this is how you maximize the pedals you have without going to get more and more pedals. Like, you don't always need to get more and more pedals. Oh, I'm playing a 6 string. I appreciate y'all hanging with me. You know, make sure y'all hit that like button for me and subscribe if you're not subscribed. I appreciate it. Also, if you find this useful, you know, you can hit the Cash App or Super Thanks, Super Chat. Or you can just hang out. Either one. But I appreciate $1, whatever you got. We in there. So we film scoring today. See, it just went wrong. It went from romantic to now we in a something bad about to happen. What's going on? The legendary Taurus in the building. Amazing bassist. Play for everybody. Everybody. As well as he's an amazing artist in his own right. Taurus Mateen. Last name Mateen. Make sure you check out his music. C4 crazy. They definitely got 7 strings. My bass mentor actually plays a 7 string. It's the Dave Marsh. You know, Dave Marsh, I actually have an interview with him on my channel, but he's the guy that taught me a lot of my technique. The reason why you can see me doing all the extra stuff you see me doing, you know, started with, you know, I've been playing since I was 4. But when I got lessons with him, he definitely straightened out my technical abilities with my finger style. And that allowed me to craft my other techniques and learn how to efficiently put together a technique. Like how it should feel. And the technique is just you doing something the same way every time. So when I'm playing finger style, when I'm doing fingerstyle, it doesn't change. And it allows you to, because I'm doing it the same way every single time, I never have to think about it after I've spent years doing it the same exact way every single time. I'm always just going to naturally do it that way because I don't do it any other way. That's why it's important to practice how you perform and slow down. If you can't do it fast, if you can't do it slow, you can't do it fast. So slow practice, do it the same way, correct way. Learn what the correct way is. Make sure if your fingerstyle doesn't incorporate some type of string muting, that you got to work on that. Otherwise, it gets sloppy. So, yeah, there's just some technical advice to help you guys out. If you're looking for that too. But I'm actually going to do an improvisation course, and so I'm gonna help you guys with chord scale relationships. How to even manipulate scales and how to even practice them to get to being able to manipulate things for a solo. Then I'm also going to do a course on actual bass technique. But yeah. So let's get back to this. And if you don't want to get a hog too, another thing you can get, these deep freezes are crazy for this application. For the application of, let me see, pads. See how to put you back in the world, like in the room. See, when you put that and see what I got there is that's that reverse reverb on the MS-70CDR plus, running into the male 9 low choir, running into the bass stereo chorus, giving that huge image, that you heard pop in, compared to, it makes that big of a difference. Into a dual delay, into a HD Hall reverb, and the reverb is actually set to 100% mix on this. Mind you, I'm gonna have all these patches and stuff put together for you guys, so you won't have to rebuild this stuff. It'll be available to you at a relatively reasonable price. Nah, it's gonna be a reasonable price, bro. It's gonna be something that can be light out your pocket. You won't even hesitate to spend the money. That's how. I don't do cheap. I spend my time putting it together, but I do reasonable. Oh, that's such a gorgeous sound. That's how you start your morning off. So that's literally just the deep freeze running into the reverse reverb on the MS-70CDR plus, running into the male 9, into the B6, bass stereo into dual delay into HD Hall. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you want my exact settings, all this is going to be available in the packs. But that's what it is. You know, if you just want to be able to experiment, figure it out a little bit, you know. But, or you can just wait. I appreciate y'all, though, hanging with me. Make sure to hit that subscribe, like, and share button on Instagram and Facebook. If y'all want to head over to YouTube at the Bassnakers, you can see what we doing over here. What's going on Twitch? Appreciate you hanging out with me. Got the multi-streams running. And I'll be back at about trying to decide. I think I'm gonna start around 6 today. I might go 6 this evening. I'll at least be on by 8. So by 8 p.m. this evening, back on live. So if you want to catch me then, you can catch me then too. Different topic then. Let's do some strings. Appreciate you hanging with me. Now tell me if you were to hear this in a movie film score that you wouldn't you'd be like, oh, that's a bass. First thing, instinct, you'll be like, that ain't no way. But yeah, I've actually done a few film score pieces just like this. And when they come out, y'all gonna be surprised. Somebody tell Paramount, hit me up. I did one for them, but we're gonna get back in that dough. Then you can change the balance of that. So if I want more of the strings, I just pull the dry signal back out of the Mel 9, push more of the wet signal. See, now we brought the strings forward. We can add we're gonna add a keyboard sound with the key 9. I love the dynamo setting, which is the number 1 setting. You can use that. You can use it 2 different ways. It has a, just like the OC5 has that octaver function where it only colors certain part of the sound. It definitely has that same feature. Let me see. So we're going to dial back a few things so we can hear what's going on with this. So this is the keyboard sound, right? in the deep freeze. That deep freeze is fire, dog. This look how small this joint is. It fit right in the palm of your hand, but it got so much. Just straight up synth already, just turning it on. And it can hold those infinitely, so it instantly becomes in a decay pedal, like extends your decay, or allows you to shape it, at least your decay of your note. That's why you're getting that. But I'm only doing bop. This is what I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. It's doing the rest of that. All that. And it's polyphonic, so it sounds. It's not even polyphonic because it's not tracking your notes, but yes, it is. Yes, it is because it's glissonic. Yeah, so it's polyphonic. I don't know how they do this. No, I think what it is they use like a delay type of feature with the time set to move a certain type of way with it. That's how I believe they're doing it. Just the same way like a looper is like a really an extended delay type pedal. So loopers are almost like delay pedals, if you didn't know. And there's a lot of delay pedals that actually have loopers built into them, like the one from TC Electronic. But this deep freeze, they run you about 179 or something like that. This joint will change everything. Just get this. If you want a mean synth rig, this joint and the MS-70CDR Plus will do you just fine. You run that joint stereo, be fire. But if you happen to have a B6 as well, or, and I like to run these into the JHS color box and color it. And then the Empress compressor. It moves with you. That's the crazy. This is on auto mode. So I'm not having to press it every single time. I'm talking about the electroharmonic deep freeze. I don't have to press it every time. I just put it on auto, set my settings, and just, set it to where where it moves with my timing, like the way I like chords to be able to move. Fire. So that instantly allows you to get into that ambient pad territory. And, it's getting into that synth keyboard territory. Now, excuse me. You can add filters to that. So, good example. I don't want that Now, we'll add the filter on the B6 instead. Yeah, let's do that, because then I can use it. Oh, that's so beautiful. Let's change this to a nice resonance pedal. Just make sure not too much resonance on that. Take these off real quick. So you can use a filter to add additional character to whatever pads you're using, but we'll take that off for now. But yeah, so basically you want to start with some type of, however you're going to shape your sound, or like however you want to synthesize your sound, whether it be a octaver or the deep freeze, something like that. You want to use something like that to get you in the territory, or just even a slow attack. Slow attack with just your bass is going to get you there too. Oh my goodness, stop playing with Zoom. Stop playing with Zoom. I need to spend $900 for real? Nah. Nah, that ain't gonna work. How luscious that sound. Sometimes it's not always about, like I said, getting new gear. Sometimes it's about, revisiting and reimagining effects you already have at your disposal. I guarantee you guys already have some type of delays and reverbs and stuff like that lying around, and you didn't even know it could do all of that. You know what I'm saying? Just with a simple volume swell. And what else I got on here? Literally this is just a volume slow attack, basically, volume swell, into a bass stereo chorus, into a dual delay, which is just 2 delays, but it's in one effects patch, and then running into an HD hall. That's all that is. Real simple. Oh, I'm sorry. I got the key 9 on. I'm sorry. No, let me take this off real quick. Still a beautiful sound. And this how you also calm yourself down as a musician. Sometimes we always focusing on speed and technique and things like that, but getting into ambient pads and textures of sounds definitely allows you to focus more on each, like the sound of what you're doing and how that, what emotion that sound portrays. So you're not just playing stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can have like every bit of technical ability I have, but the problem is with a lot of players that have it, they don't know when to use it. Maturity and knowing when to use certain things is as important as knowing how to do it. You can know how to tear down a house or build a house, but you know what I'm saying? Depends on what you're doing at the time. You don't want to start destroying a house when you should be building one. Sometimes it's time to take the wrecking ball to it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's time to go. You know what I'm saying? But other times it's time to. And both can be effective when used at the right times. If you should be going off and blazing and you. Everybody looking at you like, all right, dog. I mean, are you gonna go? Are we going? Are we? So, always remember that with music, it's all about timing and placement, and having the maturity to know when to use certain things. You're gonna need plenty of technical abilities, but you have to be mature enough to know when to use them. And if you're always trying to use it, sometimes you'll miss things like this that'll help your creativity. So I can take this and make a pad and then throw a bass line under it. Give it some percussion, and I got a tune now. Now I can play over top of it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you're gonna do. you know. And no, I'm not a singer, but it is good to scat and sing because it helps your phrasing with the instrument. You know, if you can't sing it, you probably can't play it. Or you can't play it if you can't sing it. And that doesn't mean like you got to sound like an angel singing it, but if you can't sing it, meaning you can't just, you know, what's a good Steve Wonder bass line? I wish. If you can't do that, then you ain't gonna be able to play it. You gotta learn it. But this is, you know, a lot of times as a musician, you playing music and a lot of stuff that helps other people portray whatever emotion they want to be going across at the time. But sometimes when you by yourself, you gotta take some time and just play things that, you know, calm you down. You know, this might calm you down, but it might do something different to you. But, you know, playing stuff like this, ambient pads, especially in the morning. Plus, it's like long tones for horn players. It'll improve your chordal abilities because you're having to hold the chord longer. Versus if you bam, 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 you know, it's your fingers not building that endurance. And this is just my bass, a chorus, a dual delay, which is 2 delays, and a reverb. Very simple. And what's crazy for real is somewhere in the universe, these sounds are being made. And if you really think about it, you know, everything that happens is kind of like nature just talking. I just kicked on the key, the C4, Source Audio C4 there. So you get into that synth sound. Woo. It's like a synth string type of sound. Now you're getting into like synth, ambient synth bass sound type things, you know? So one pedal or one effect in particular can change everything for this type of setup. So what I mean by that is, you know, say I swapped out this delay for these delays that I have on, which is I have a dual delay on here running into a filtered delay. So it's technically 3 different delays running at once. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, I love music so much. Oh man. I don't want to do nothing else for a living. This is what I do for a living. I love it so much. Oh my goodness. Why does that bring me so much joy? It makes me so happy. So if I do this, how you gonna like it? You don't like that. It'll take this though. Oh, that's so nasty. That's filthy. That's filthy McNasty right there. That's ridiculous. Just make me so happy. Oh my goodness, it makes me so happy. It just makes me smile so much. Y'all don't understand. When you can get sounds that's been in your head at various times, and it just all come together. It just make you smile. It just feel like, yeah, getting it. That. Oh, that's disgusting. Then you answer it with the other one. And that's how you film score. At least some of the ambient sounds of a film score, you can definitely, especially if you're out of space or some off distant planet, galaxy. You send out the signal. That's stupid. That's stupid. Another effect I like. Where is it? Let me see if I can find it. There it is. So with this particular effect, it is pretty glitchy, but when you throw that into some of what else we got going on, grows into quite a bit. And so this is actually based off of the 4-voice synth on the original MS-60B, which they do not have this effect on any of the new Zoom stuff, which is a little disappointing, but I still have my original. So it's also on the MS-50G original as well. So if you find either one of those, it'll be on there. And it just gives you that nice synth texture right off the bat. You know what else you can add to these joints? Sequence filters. one more. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Sequence filter. Now you can create different patterns. Well, you can't really create them with this, but on the C4, it has a sequencer in there, LFO, sequencer, and an envelope as well. But you can create different sequence patterns in there. So, that's something else you can do in there. But on the Zoom stuff, it has the fixed patterns and shapes, but it gives you plenty of options to change that. So you got options. You got mad options when it comes to pads. And, we ain't even really started switching delays yet, which we about to start doing now. We're switching delays. Oh, another one of my favorite, the multi-tap delay. Let's take this sequence filter off. So what we could do is we can come and change the BPM. Let's see. So you can also use delays and rhythmic figures to, that's the multi-tap delay run into the filter delay, run into the HD reverb. So it's actually giving you a multitude of sounds within that one. So you got the original sound of the original. You got the high pitch. Then you got the. So it's almost creating a drum beat right there without you even having to do too much. It's automatically creating that drum. And then all you doing is boom. Or if you just wanted the chords to do it. So you can do a lot with some delay and reverbs, and just your bass. That was creating a pad, so you'd have the drum part that was already synced with it. Right? Then you throw the chords in there. The thing I love about the multi-tap delay moves pretty well with you as long as you're in time. So you can play around with it. Just create different stuff. So, you can. It's just all about how you approach things and how open-minded you are to it. You know, you can stay with the typical pad stuff. You can create rhythmic stuff, whether it be with the chords. And that'll create less chords. You know, and it's a lot of different ways to do stuff, guys. You just gotta be open-minded to it, you know, open to it and just keep experimenting. You know, never stop just looking for new things. Like some of the stuff that I was going through, it's not that I've done all this stuff before. It's literally that I know I let my brain go wherever it's going to go in terms of the creativity in these situations. That's why I was just adding different, you know, I was like, oh, that multi-tap delay. Yeah, I remember what that does. And, oh, I remember what the filter delay sounds like, you know, but I've also taken the time to experiment with these different effects individually. So once you know the effects, sounds, and different sounds you like to get out of that, your brain will automatically put them into play when it's time to, which will make your life a lot easier. You know what I'm saying? So I would recommend just spending time with the units you have, and if they have delay and reverb, and just spend some time messing around with a couple delays, like 2 delays running into a reverb, and maybe like a slow attack or auto swell or volume pedal in the beginning of that chain. Excuse me. Help you swell right into it. You know, if you want a smoother pad, if you want a rhythmic pad, you don't need the volume pedal per se, but you know, you can put multiple delays together that maybe have different rhythmic figures available to you, or rhythmic patterns. Or you might want to run a sequence filter. See, you got to line all these up. Let me see with the speed. Just let me do quarter note. No need to be intimidated by a 6-string. Doing good, doing good. Appreciate you hanging out with me over on Twitch. So what we got here is a bit crusher running into a filter, just giving us that basic synth sound. So this is good for just synth stuff and general synth bass. And that's literally the bit crusher on the MS-70CDR Plus running into the Z-Tron filter on there. So you take that, then you run that in. I'm also running the color box and the Empress compressor, but besides that, I'm running that into a bass stereo chorus, dual delay, and HD Hall. Yeah, definitely the mainframe electroharmonics is, if you can't tell by the pedals I have here, it's one of my favorites. Just in general, so the mainframe bit crusher is definitely something I've been thinking about checking out. The one on this one sounds just fine, but I don't need that many flavors of bit crusher. But you know, you always say that, and then I get stuff in my hands, I get to playing around with it, and then you justify keeping it, so, or getting it, you know. So that's life. But this MS-70CDR Plus definitely is a good addition to any pedal board, as well as a Zoom B6 can definitely handle a lot of stuff, but it doesn't have all the variety that the MS-70CDR Plus has. So, oh no, I'm never opposed to getting another pedal. That's for sure. Pedals make the world go round. Like, yeah, sure, I could easily play. You know, still got the octave rolling. Of course, but when you start adding effects to it, and, you know, bit crushers and envelope filters. It's the detail it adds when it's closing. It just, I love filters, and I love like overdrive. I love overdrive and bit crushers running in the filters, because it just adds so much textures, and it lets the filter really be heard, versus you don't have a bit crusher on or something to grab the filter. I think of it like a smooth surface versus like sand. Like, I feel like throwing the bit crusher and the overdrive on is like throwing sand on a smooth surface, and now having something slide down it is going to have a different texture, because it's got so many little things to deal with, but it's still going to move because it's you know, it's not like completely blocking it. I hope this makes sense. I hope this makes sense to you, but it's like it adds. It's like without it, it's mad smooth. Sometimes you want that smoothness, but you add the sand to it. I appreciate that. Appreciate you following Spooky James. Yeah, I appreciate all the love and all the support. We're gonna be here. I'll probably be back on around probably about 6, somewhere between 6 and 8, if you want to join me again on a different topic. Yeah, just stay open-minded for sure. Like always, you know, all the greats that had access to it. If Bach and Rachmaninoff and all them had, and Lavelle and it just different composers had access to these things, they would have been part of their stuff too. I guarantee it. Like, just by how many sounds they explored in the orchestra, and getting the orchestra to do different sounds, you know, and, you know, using the orchestra like their own huge synthesizer, you know what I'm saying? So by that logic, I think they would have definitely been into doing stuff. I mean, even look at people like Oscar Peterson, who he would have been more into synth, but, you know, he didn't have, you know, and he was, like, you can find videos of him being in the synth a little bit more, but it wasn't as developed as it is now. Like Herbie Hancock, you know what I'm saying? That's how we got all that stuff with Herbie and Chick Corea and all them. A lot of the fusion stuff was done with synthesizers. And, you know, kind of getting into that territory, this helps us out. But, you know, you definitely want to not necessarily be a purist, you know. I don't even know what I would call a purist, but because, I mean, music is music. So it's just like, just sound like somebody that don't want to have to learn something else to me. But, yeah, I like to definitely keep an open mind to sounds and different genres of music, different styles of playing, different techniques. You know, I used to, one thing I learned when learning different genres is some genres have actual techniques that belong in that genre. So it definitely, you know, learning funk and learning to be able to do stuff like definitely has helped me with jazz or like gospel or whatever else I want to play. You know, so there's everything works together. Classical helped me with jazz and everything else because of, you know, some of the different types of techniques and different things, and you know, the structure of it more so helped me. You got to play stuff, be able to duplicate stuff. You can't just make up new stuff every time you play. So that gave me a bit of structure, you know. Oh, okay. I can jump there because I was gonna go there anyway. The MS-60B Plus has a synth sound amazing. I have, it needs to be available in my patches, in my packs rather. All my Zoom pedals I'm gonna have packs for. So you'll be able to get 20 of my favorite settings from each unit, the B6, the MS-60B Plus, and the MS-70CDR, plus things like the Tone X1, the C4 synth, the Atlas compressor. You know, we'll have all these things available for you guys. As well as I'm going to have an IR pack of 7 cabinets with 6 different mics in 4 to 6 different positions. So got a lot coming out for you guys product-wise, as well as I'm going to have some t-shirt merchandise. But to answer your question, see where we at. Here we go. And see, equipment sounds great, you know. So those are some of my patches that'll be available as well. But go back. Is this the right one? No. No, the patches will not be free, but they won't be expensive either. They will be reasonable. I don't do cheap because time ain't cheap. You know, it takes time. It took me quite a few hours to get them together. But I'm also going to make them available they're going to be available through Patreon. So I'm going to have two different ways you'll be able to have access to them. If you're a monthly subscriber, I'll probably give you a choice. You know, if you're a brand new subscriber, I'll probably give you to the Patreon once I finish setting it up. You'll have the ability to choose one pack, you know, out of the presets, and I'll probably give it to you for the, you know, just as a gift. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I will say, so that's the first way. But I'll say what I was gonna say in a second. But then the second way, you can just buy them flat out, and the price will be reasonable. It's not gonna be crazy. It's not gonna, you know, but it'll save you a ton of time. And I guarantee, if you're just getting into effects, you'll learn a lot just from having those patches available to you. But I will give you a tip right off the bat. When you get the patches, you'll want to turn off your auto save function on your Zoom pedals. That way you'll be able to use the patches without, if you change anything, it won't immediately save it. And what I would suggest doing is just, you know, you always can have multiple copies of the file, but you can keep an original copy on there and then just maybe save that patch in a different slot on there as well, duplicate it, and then, you know, change things. You know, that way you got the original and then the other stuff. But I definitely appreciate you subscribing. That definitely means a lot. You know, if you haven't subscribed, liked, and shared, please do. I appreciate y'all hanging with me today. You know, we just doing ambient bass pads and pretty much different uses for them. You know, so you can take a synth bass sound like this. You know, we had the synth bass from the C4 synth already. Now we grabbing one from the Zoom pedal. And so that's the Zoom patch I have, one of my Zoom synth bass patches running into the deep freeze. And then the deep freeze is going into the MS-70 CDR plus. Then running into the Zoom B6 where I'm running the bass chorus. Excuse me, I don't know why I keep burping. Sorry about that, guys. And a dual delay and HD hall. So just amazing. Get some amazing results with these Zoom pedals. So you can take a MS-60B plus and an MS-70CDR plus, and you got 12 effects in a row. You got 12 effects with two pedals. And then not only that, but you can have them set up like all your bass sounds, you know, on your MS-60B plus. Then all your coloring can happen, you know, that you want to change throughout. You might have a chorus patch or different things like that, or like a patch with different filters on them on it MS-70CDR plus, you know, and then you can mix and match them, you know, have your synth sounds, your bass sounds set up here, and you can flip through them, you know, basically your raw sounds, like not raw sounds, but your, I guess the bass, your foundation sounds, you know, things like your octavers and all that stuff set up. So you can bam, 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 but then you can switch off different things from here. You know, everything, including like distortion, would be here. Then you do all your modulation, delay, reverb, and even some filtering here. And that way you can switch them out easily, you know what I'm saying, throughout the show, versus if you got this one handling some of that stuff, you know, you can't. You got to have more patches. It's a weird thing when you can mix and match things. It's a little easier. You know, and you can get creative a little easier. You know, say you got a filter and a filter and a delay, or a modulation and a delay and reverb combination you like, you can now switch different patches through that, different synth sounds, or different of your different types of bass tone sounds, distortion, overdrive, all that stuff. You can be changing what you're doing with that here while changing, you know, the room and the modulations and things like that from the MS-70CDR plus. So that's another little tip. You know, you can build a whole pedal board with these zoom pedals. I might do that, just do an all zoom pedal board and just see what sounds I can get. I mean, I know I can get an amazing amount of sounds, but yeah. Make sure y'all experiment, man. That's all I can really say about this, you know, because we're going to wrap this one up, you know, and I'll be back again around sometime between 6 and 8, you know. Just check for me. I'll be there. But I'm trying to think what I was going to do this evening. But I got a few different topics I got to cover with you guys anyway, but this was one of them, ambient bass pads. So make sure you experiment with different delays, reverbs, modulations, different sounds you can get from your bass right off of the back, just your raw bass, you know, nothing on it, and different synth sounds. Don't, you know, that's not even me playing notes, but that can be used for something. That can be used for intro of a song, intro of a movie, scary scene of a movie. You know, I love to get them scary scene sounds with the bass synths. Like that sound from right before something about to happen, and you can't figure out why you uneasy. It's that background music, the film score. But yeah, I definitely appreciate y'all hanging with me. This has been another episode of All Bass Creations, effects, tutorials, demos, and reviews. Check out my music at All Bass Creations. Hey, how you doing? I'm sorry, we going in, but again, I'll be back sometime between 6 and 8, and we're going to do another few hours there. So if you guys want to check me out then, over on YouTube and Twitch and Instagram and Facebook, I definitely would love to have you. You know, if you find this useful, you can hit that Cash App. You know what I'm saying? You know, I appreciate you a lot. And or the super thanks, super chat. You know, and I definitely appreciate y'all, you know, hitting that like button and subscribing. So I'll see y'all back in a little bit. You know, I'm going to go get some other stuff done. Well, I'm about to go eat now. Go get some other stuff done. Then I'll be back to hang with you guys. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.